We're live.
Sick.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, perfect. Well, I don't even know how we got to start this one off. We're just gonna
Well,
third
Dakota's
third
back.
day in a row.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. Oh my god, my setup's a mess this morning,
Oh,
this
it's all
evening.
good, man.
Gonna
It's all
unblur. They can see the table.
Oh, nice. So we'll start off. How are your guys' podcast the last 2 days?
yeah, I think good. Hey.
Sorry I couldn't be here, guys.
Oh,
Hanging out with my mom yesterday,
oh yeah, no worries.
but I am here today.
It
And
was pretty
so,
good.
yeah, it's good. You guys kind of want to cover like my match today and
Yeah,
just the
well,
event in
yeah.
general because I was there,
Oh,
I guess.
yeah, you were there. I mean,
Yeah, I
yeah,
want to. I want to hear your side for your match and the overall event and stuff.
Okay.
yeah.
What did Sean have to say overall?
Uh,
He really liked it,
yeah, he said he loved the event. He said it was smooth. It was the best event he's ever been at. So,
and we were kind of all talking about things that could push it to like a next level. Not
next
because
level.
anything was necessarily wrong, just because we can see how far it can go, type of thing.
Yeah, yeah, you helped out there, Zach, yesterday when you pointed that out because I was
Mhm.
trying to say exactly what you said, but I just would have kept going and trying to find the words to explain it.
That's fair.
So, but yeah, the potential is so high, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, man.
really, really high. So, I mean, I wasn't bashed. I talked to Ian today and I was just saying like, yeah, like I was envisioning what it could be, you know what I mean? Watching it
How
because
far
I
it can
seen
go,
that it
yeah.
was I seen that it was really good, but just the viewing experience, I mean, based on whether you're an arm wrestler or a fan or something like that, they're definitely like if he ups that, like you're talking, he's got something huge that's
Oh
he's
yeah.
growing something big
Well,
here.
especially it's on. It could be something on the west side.
Yeah,
Heading on the west, like the Challenger Series and stuff. That's exciting, but that's more south than north.
yeah, yeah.
Dude, if first off, completely somewhat off topic, but if he brings a Mac event to Alberta,
He is gonna.
it would be crazy.
Yep.
Like I want to get that out of the way first off. Like
Yeah.
we have that is a perfect league for a lot of our guys to get their toes in the water.
Yep.
Like even if it's just a prelim match, whatever, like that is now that we are getting the traction with that, it's a really good way for these up and comers. Like we've been talking about it forever. We want these up and comers get,
Yep.
recognized.
That's what we want. That's our
This is
mission.
one of those gateways right there, let
Yep.
me tell you.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, we
Like,
saw with the qualifier. That was one gateway.
Yeah, I
oh,
was
I'm not saying this is the only one,
oh
No,
yeah,
no, no,
no,
no, for
no,
sure. No,
no.
but
I think it's good that there's more, right?
Well, he
yeah.
brought up
But
today. Ian said, I kind of like that Mac Infinity or Macfinity.
Macfinity.
Yeah, Macfinity. Yeah. He's like, it
Xfinity, that's
sounded pretty
funny.
good. It does kind of blend Macfinity. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Drew 24. So what do we have here? We have a 3 day bender.
Hmm.
3 day bender. And I'm here for the third day. I'm like that guy who shows up to the party on the last day. He's like, let's get drinking, boys. And everyone's already been
You
hungover for 2 days.
reignite it. Yep.
Done.
But
I love it.
I used to be that guy. Show up like after 2 days, everyone's partying. Yeah.
What's up? What? Come on, guys. What
I'd
you
be
got?
like, come on, you need energy? And I throw a bag on the
but
table.
but anyways, I mean, overall it was a great experience. Great time. Eastridge Billiards did a really good job of setting everything up. The like the only no, there's not. I don't have any negatives for the event. The only downsides for were just myself, more or less, and the fact that I didn't get more time on a table.
Yeah, yeah.
Soon, like I jumped on the table and I was like, "This is."
Yeah, for
It's like you look at it when you're looking at it, you're like, it's an arm wrestling table. It's a different type of arm wrestling table. But when you jump on the table, you're like, this completely changes the way I need to think about every single thing.
Yeah, I could see how that could happen.
Just because I didn't think about this when I was like picturing it in my head the whole time. but once I got on the table, I could see it. But like the pin pads are higher, but because your elbow can get so close to the pin pad,
Hmm.
it doesn't feel that way.
He said that they're not higher though. He just said they you think they're higher or something. I don't know. I brought
Oh,
it up
he was
before.
saying that they're a half an inch higher.
Oh, they are okay. Well, now okay. Yeah.
Anyways, I
Yeah.
don't know, but I'm pretty sure that they're half an inch higher because
Yeah.
remember when
And
you
you
talked
feel
about
it?
how if you dropped into a Kings because they're half an inch higher, there's not going to be any bicep
Yeah,
busting.
yeah. Yeah, you're right. I do remember that. Yeah.
So basically, I didn't think of any of that, right? And then the other thing was Sean, like everybody from Team Alberta, I don't know how many other people, but we had a misconception that even if you and I agree, Brian, to go outside of straps in the
I
first round,
know. Yeah.
that if someone agrees in the second round, it auto goes to straps. But I guess that's not the case.
Yeah, it was with Josh's match. I was questioning because I thought he said if it goes to straps, it stays in the straps. But I didn't know that if you didn't want to go to straps, the other guys did. It didn't matter. It went to straps anyway by default. I didn't know that part. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I guess that's only in the sweat in the discussion at the start. But if you and I discuss to do out of straps, then it
Okay.
is out of straps.
Yeah,
And
but if
it
you want
stays out
straps
of
and I
straps
don't,
until it
yeah.
stays out of straps until a slip is the important part.
Yeah.
What I thought is every round was a new reset. And let's say like my match went and I pinned him,
Hmm.
and then the second round he wanted strap, obviously.
Hmm.
I would have fought more for no strap
Yeah.
had I understood the rules a little better. But you can hear me say to the ref, I'm like, well, I don't have a choice.
Yeah, yeah, I did. I
I
think
don't I don't have a choice. Like he wants straps, it's auto straps.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it is what it is.
I think
Um,
out of straps, yeah, you would have got. I don't know if you would have been able to sink that hook in as easy.
no, I don't think so either. But I mean it is what it is. Like I'm not gonna take away
Yeah.
from
Oh, yeah.
his
Yeah.
win. It was a good
It
win.
is what it is. Yeah.
Second round, dude, when I feel like I don't know, like because as you guys know, my plan going into it was low hand with the setup. Um, in that second round when I hit that low hand back and I didn't quite crack his wrist, I was like, man, this guy's got a better cup than I thought. He
Yeah.
had really good lat drag cup pressure. And back to the table aspect, um, one thing I want to say is that I don't think this table gives an advantage or disadvantage to a certain type of arm wrestler to a specific point. Now, what I'm saying by that is like, I think, Brian, if you and I have both been on this table for a long time and we understand how the table works,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's equal. But I think two new people hopping on this table, never having used it before, like
And
just two people, like let's say you and Zach jump on right now
yeah.
and you're top rolling and Zach is pressing, Zach has the advantage because of that 8x10 that gives you so much space across.
Hmm.
You can just
Yeah. Yeah. You got so much room to. Yeah, and your hits.
and so it's really hard to
Yeah.
catch.
Well, I
Um,
seen that. I seen that when he had to jump. It was just like boom right there. You were just like right there. It was like
yeah. Well, another thing too is because like I have one right here, but because the elbow pad is centered with itself,
yeah.
my stopping point is here, but his was also here.
Hmm.
Mm.
Whereas on a normal table, it's not centered. So his stopping point is here,
Hmm.
and mine catching point is out here. I have more room than him.
Hmm.
So it makes it much, I didn't realize how much easier it is to catch a presser when you get when you get that pad that stops them. Because that's just something I've never experienced before. Like I've pulled on center tables before, but not enough to really grasp that in my head.
Hmm.
So that was one thing looking back and watching the match I had to like review on. But I mean, it once you get the vectors of the table figured out, it's the same as a normal table. There's just more room to play, which is I think is exactly what Ian was looking for.
Yeah.
So it's good. But yeah, definitely if you don't if you like a presser coming clean from just jumping on that table, and
Yeah.
they probably just feel like they're like got superpowers because they can just
Yeah.
go
Just
with it.
fly. Yeah.
You just
Yeah. Now,
start and you just never
Yeah,
stop. You just-
now,
yeah.
now, I mean, the rounds he got on you were pretty similar. Did you feel like you had a different lane or something you could have changed up,
I felt
or was it
like
just because it was so whoever got the goal won? Is it was just like
whoever
just try
got
to
the
be
goal
first?
won. That's a
Yeah.
simple. You watch it; it's simple as this.
Yeah.
I'm really frustrated with myself in a sense because it was my first like I've had
Oh
super
yeah.
matches before, but
It's a big stage.
that was like the biggest match I've had, like
Yeah,
in
man.
like a viewing perspective.
I haven't had a
And
pay-per-view.
I
Yeah,
was I was I was pretty nervous.
I bet.
And no, the nerves didn't stop me from performing, but the nerves stopped me from thinking.
Hmm.
Looking back,
Yeah, yeah.
the nerves, I was worried the whole time. I can't not perform. The nerves can't, like, I can't not do well, kind of thing. And
Hmm.
then looking back, and I realized I performed, but I didn't think through the performance. I was just, let's go, let's go, let's go, flashman, flashman.
Well, I was shocked he didn't make a change though. Like, yeah, like with because it seemed
But
like you were just relying on
I
hitting first.
felt comfortable. That
Mm.
was the tricky thing.
Hmm.
And like when I was going to the corner and Sean and I were talking, like everything that Sean was telling me to do was what I was doing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was getting webbing on him. The only thing that was stopping it was the tight strap and
Mm.
the fact that, and you got to remember too, shoulders don't have to be square.
Yeah, yeah.
So
True. And for a presser, you're just
if you're setting up for that press, you can drop this shoulder back and
oh yeah.
you know what I mean? And then on top of that, Mateus Bernard said, yeah, press def has a bit of an advantage, but I find because of the extra space, you have a few more options to move in after someone has started pressing you. I will agree with that. I'm going to touch on that in a second. I'm just going to finish my rant here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Matthias, um, where was I now? Oh, okay. I was getting everything that I wanted. The only part where I wasn't getting what I was wanted, where I wasn't getting what I wanted, was on the close your thumbs, close your hands, go. Every WAL match,
Yeah,
every match I've watched is close your hands, and those guys start and then go.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
the
yeah.
ref usually just says go. But Dave Knox is tricky like that.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
knew that I was timing it. So he was waiting, which is why I was getting those early starts.
Mm.
Because by round 4, I knew the importance of going first. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
willing to get the early starts. Because here's kind of my thought process. I'll go through rounds 1 to 5. Round 1, I thought, man, that was great. That was exactly what I wanted to do. I got through his hand, I got over top of him, and then I was able to adjust and beat his hand. He had a good stop at the end. I was surprised with his stop, but I wasn't worried about it.
Yeah.
Round 2, I hit back at the low hand and I just didn't quite crack his wrist. He was really smart too. He put the strap high on his hand,
Mm.
which was when I was putting pressure from the tight strap, it was stopping his wrist from completely buckling. So he
Oh.
was able to pull through the arm still
Mm.
and get into that press. So at that point, I was like, okay, I I felt like I was right there, and I was like, good, get first, same thing, just get there first and really crack the wrist back. Round 3, he completely he just got in the press, and I was like, yeah, okay. So then round 4 is when I started going earlier.
Mm.
I was going earlier, and you can see in round 4 because his wrist completely buckles,
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
and I just run away with it. And I was like, okay, I felt really good going into round 5. Strap was tightened, everything is okay. I felt like I had the webbing I wanted. Close your thumbs, close your hands, and I hit. And then it was early. I was
Hmm.
like, oh, so same thing, early. And I was like, ah. Then I kind of felt like I should have been as alert as I was on the first go, and I should have gotten a restrap because although you have to start and reset and everything, when we started that fifth round, I had what I wanted. And as I was hitting and we
Yeah.
were putting our arms back on the table and we were
Losing.
resetting, I was losing. I was losing stuff that I needed. Should have got a
Mhm.
restrap. It is what it is. Um, and then yeah, he got the go before me because I was worried of getting an early start foul. Is really
Mhm.
how like I'm not saying he didn't like it was a good hit on him, but I feel like if I didn't have those two early start fouls and I was jumping again, that I could have really emulated round 4 and round 5. But that was a fun thing about that match is it could have went either way.
Oh yeah, it was fun to watch. You
Like
didn't
it
know
was
what was
super
gonna
super
happen.
close match. It
I
was
got
good.
I
It
got one
was a
question though.
yeah. What's up?
Did you find was there any advantage to what side of the table you're on? Did you feel like there was
No,
a better side?
no.
Hmm.
We each won a round going into
Mhm.
round 5. We each had won a round on both sides.
Okay.
Now, the counter argument to that is I won the first round outside of straps. So it's tough to
Mm.
say. Like, I did not win a round on the non buckle side of the table. And I was actually thinking about this afterwards. I felt better with the buckle on my hand, which was weird. I
Wow.
usually don't
Mhm.
like, I'm not a big buckle guy either way, but I don't know. It was just something about it. Like, round 4 felt really good for me. And that was the one round I had in the straps on that side.
Mm.
But I don't think there was enough of an advantage. Like, it's tough because with the set grip, you can't really gain anything.
Yeah,
Um,
a millimeter maybe.
like little bits, and I felt like I was kind of doing what I could.
Yeah.
Well, you know
But
what? You had a great match, man. You went all
yeah, thank you.
5 rounds, right? Like,
Yeah, it was fun. Like it was a blast, and I mean, obviously, I would have loved to win round 5, but like, got my name out there a little bit more. I feel like I
mhm.
had a good showing. Like I didn't absolutely just get mopped or anything.
No.
No.
And the other thing, I think people people don't know who Matt Wild's like too much. Like he doesn't like he posts a little bit, but he's pretty low key with it. And so I think maybe there was this like, oh, okay, well, I don't know this guy. I know Dakota. So you know what I mean? Like Dakota might have this. But like when I was looking, because Ian offered me a match on Matt, and I didn't want to just look for someone that I thought I could smoke because I like to challenge myself and I don't see the fun in that. So I did a lot of searching. Like it took me like 2 weeks to find him. And
Oh,
then finally I found him. And
and you
like
called him
he's
out?
got good lifts, man. Like for people that don't know, like on his TikTok, he does I think he does a 105-pound pronation lift.
Wow.
He does a 70-pound rise lift.
For his size, that's crazy.
And he told me his bench max was 395 at 185 pounds.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah. Like it's no slouch. Like I'm not like he's good. Like
My best
people
bench was 420, and I'm a really big
he beat
guy.
Tim Lewis, right? Like I know Tim
Yeah.
Lewis's right hand isn't his left hand, but like Tim Lewis is like
Oh,
his
it's
left
still
hand is
so
like
strong.
ranked like 12th in the States or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so, I mean, like I pulled him because if I won, or like I wanted to match them because I knew if I won, it would be a credible win. But I also knew that it would really motivate me. And I mean, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, right?
I
But
heard
it was a
I heard
good
I didn't
match.
oh sorry.
No, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I didn't see it because I didn't see the tournament or nothing, but I heard that you almost got Tim Lewis too.
I'm not gonna say almost got him
Apparently
because
it looked like you let off like the hit or something, and then he just kept
yeah,
torquing through and pinned you.
if you watch the match, okay, Matt, if Matt Mask watched this, he's gonna be pissed at me.
Mm.
But Matt literally texts me and he's like, because okay, um, yeah, I don't think Ian or them will care if I say this,
Yeah.
but when John Terrian's passport issue happened, I messaged Ian and I said, hey, I said like I want to pull Tim Lewis. I
Yeah.
don't have a left arm match on this card. I would be more than willing to do it, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was like, okay, well, like you're the backup match right now or whatever. He's like, but just so you know, like if I find a match that I feel more suiting, I'm gonna fill it in. And I was like, that's perfectly fine. So I that whole like 4 days or whatever, I thought I was gonna be the one pulling Tim. So I was watching videos talking to Matt about it. And Matt was like, I don't think he'll have troubles taking his wrist. but he's got a very strong bicep and he dragged really well. So Matt's like, you're gonna want to kind of get on top of it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. But then Matt told me that, and then obviously that was like early into it, and then I kept going through and I kept listening to other people, and
Yeah.
everyone was saying like, you got to get through his wrist, you got to get through his wrist, you got to get through his wrist. So for then like I kind of put what like Matt said was like behind me, and I was just thinking of all these things people were telling me like right there, like people who have pulled him and stuff. They're like, you got to get through his wrist if you want to beat his left. So when we set up, I was setting up with intent to just get the wrist. Like my goal was to crack his wrist and then worry about the rest afterwards.
Yeah.
And when we said go, he pretty much gave me his wrist.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. You're like, shit.
I was like, oh no.
Threw you off. Yeah.
Because it didn't even throw me off, but I was in a vulnerable position for someone who does like a bicep drag press who's strong. Like my left can hold really well, but he dragged really good right to the back corner of his pad. And with all that space, it's tough.
Yeah.
So I like set in and I felt okay, but like he just kept leaning and leaning and leaning, and I was holding and I was waiting for a let off, and it didn't come. And then I just but I'd still like to pull him left in a super match because like that was my left. Like I pulled the tournament because I thought it would be fun, but like my left like has been, you guys know, it's been sore forever and it's finally starting to feel good and it held up well against them. And I think with a different game plan, I could,
No, you felt it.
yeah, I could surprise people.
Yeah.
Like he's a like 12th or whatever in the US at 210.
Yeah.
And so like if I can hang with him, then I'm getting there, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah. For sure.
but yeah, no, that's for sure one I'd like to try one day. But yeah, no, anyways, back to like Matt Wilds is a good competitor and he's just one of them low key guys who people are gonna start hearing of eventually.
I've seen
But like
I've seen a little bit. I've seen him a little bit. I've seen him in a few.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, he's very good. He's we after pulled and like he's solid. Like he's got good hook, he's got a good kings, he's got like he feels good everywhere, but
Yeah.
he's just like a short, stocky, like one of them, like just
Mhm.
you know what I mean? And that was also another reason why I wanted to pull him is because I feel like that is my kryptonite.
Mm.
Short press hook arms,
Yep,
right?
that's mine. That's my kryptonite. Yep.
Yeah, it's tough. And
Yep.
so I really wanted to kind of just show myself that I can hang with those kind of guys because I don't know. I like the challenge. Like I don't see the fun in me going, "Hey Ian, I want to pull on your pay-per-view Mac event. I want to arm wrestle this guy who, I'm pretty confident I would steamroll."
Russell Gavin.
No, Gavin would whoop me, man.
Gavin's pretty strong. He did really good provincials.
Hey,
He
good for
did.
you, Gavin, man.
He
Shout out
did.
Gavin.
He
We got to
pulled
get
his
him
heart
on here
out.
one day.
That'd be cool.
He pulled
But
the adults too.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, no, that's sick. But yeah, and so overall, I'm disappointed I lost, but I'm happy with the overall outcome.
That's fair.
Like, and I like, I don't know what Ian wants us to say and what he doesn't want to say, but like, he is still evolutionizing the table.
Yep.
So I am also okay with saying, like, yeah, I lost a match on a prototype
Yeah.
because the table wasn't perfect. It had its pros, it had a few cons. I'm not saying it was a bad table, it was better than it was worse,
Mhm.
but it's part of the process. And I'm happy to say I was part of the process to get this table moving forward. Like,
Yeah.
you know
Well,
what I
yeah,
mean?
and now you got a feel for it. Now you've been on the table, so you got an edge anyway, right? I don't think anybody first stepping on that table is going to be an expert at, and use it to the full advantage, right? Because you don't
Especially
know.
if you're thinking like this, right?
Yeah.
Well, and that
Yeah,
was one
exactly.
advantage that them New York guys had is they had a Mac table.
Yeah, it would
And
be a big
so
advantage. Yeah.
yeah, it's huge, right? Like
Yep.
it literally be like someone who doesn't have an arm wrestling table versus someone who does.
You spend 2, 3 practices on a Mac table, and you're already seeing how you can use it to your style, how to, maximize on its opportunities, you know what I mean? The
Yeah, and
difference.
that's what I was talking about at practice, and I was talking to Ian about it today. You like to some people, it's just a table, a different style of table, but like when you think of it from angles and vectors and perspective, like it literally changes the game.
Yeah.
Like
I can't wait to go
everything's
on it.
different. Doing your shoulder this much to some people is like whatever, but it's huge. And then when you add on a set grip, it's huge. And then when you add on an 8x10 pad that is sunken in where you can hop your elbows,
Yeah.
like it all adds up, right? And I totally still believe it's for the better. Like
Yeah.
I said this on my video, but he did the prelims, pay-per-view, had 3 outages, and the tournament, and we were at another place in Rochester eating by 8:45.
Yeah.
Wow. No, I know that, you
And
know
he
what? The
started he
time
started at
efficiency.
11:30, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he did good. And it seemed like it all went like, I was kind of criticizing it. It's going, I don't know, it might be too many matches. This seemed like everything just worked out really good.
It
Oh,
didn't
I
feel like we
would
were
like
watching for hours, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
yeah. And you know what? It was more action than less was the
Hmm.
big thing.
Oh yeah.
I think we need to start looking at it from a ratio of how much action was there
Action
and
per
how
minute.
much downtime was there.
Hmm.
And like it was go, 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 which is how it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Like there's a few things that need to be tweaked, but overall the concept, like Ian showed that the concept can happen,
Oh yeah.
right?
no, I think it looked good. I regret not taking that match now. I wish I was there with you guys. So
Yeah. And so I'll just touch on what Matthias said because I didn't really, but he said, I find the extra space, you have a few more options to move in after someone has started pressing you.
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree with that. You have more distance to get back and readjust. But when you're equal power as someone, or maybe I'm maybe even a little weaker than him in that lane, it's very tough for me to stop the freight train once it's moving, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah, no, it makes
Because like
sense.
if he was sitting like this, then yes, I could do something. But the fact that he's already
Yeah, his whole
gone, like
body.
yes, I have more
Yeah.
room to catch, but the momentum is hard to stop. And when you're going against someone like that, where it's a shorter arm and they're connected to their frame, it's tough for me to want to dive in with my frame when they're already moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
I
almost
think,
compromising yourself off the
I,
bat for try.
yeah, I think the only thing you could have done really, and I mean, like you said, first time on the table, nervous pay-per-view and that, I think you could have shot more straight up on his hit, and that would just take away his whole press, right? I
yeah,
mean, there's always woulda, coulda, shouldas and stuff, but I think
no,
if
there
you,
is, and I've
yeah,
thought about that too, but I don't know. Like, I just feel like because I wasn't low handing like this. Like I wasn't low
you
handing
weren't.
like this. I was low handing like this. So I
Mm,
feel like
so okay,
high
yeah,
hand or low hand, I was giving the same up pressure to him.
okay, yeah.
And I just don't think I was kicking out enough. Because if I would have went like this, when he shot, it would have all been on my pronator.
Hmm.
And then a lot
Whereas
of
like
connection to your arm as well on hit.
whereas like this, he's packing cup and pronator at the same
Hmm.
time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, but if I could go back, I would obviously try something else. I'm not upset that I didn't completely change my game plan.
Mhm.
I should have just flop pressed, I think.
But
Now
you,
you're thinking. Nah.
you know what? I think a press could, yeah, but you know what? In that situation, I think the only thing you could have done is to try to get maximum height. But he was hitting so fast, even to shoot upwards, I think he still would have been
there,
on
there,
No,
there
it's
comes a point where, like Dakota was saying, where it's like
Yeah,
once the freight train's moving type of thing.
yeah, yeah,
When Dakota was the initiator, he
yeah,
was the freight train. The other guy was
yeah.
trying to like stop it. But
Hmm.
especially on that table when there's so much room for the other guy to
Yeah,
run off, if he gets a good start and he just goes,
yeah.
it looked
It
like
looked like, yeah, it looked like you, Dakota. You had a lot of room too. Like when you got
oh,
up, some of the
100%.
room.
Like I'm not arguing
Yeah,
that I didn't. It's
yeah,
just that I feel like I have to still earn my position and then I can use that pad to go.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas as a presser, you just go with the
You
flow.
just go. Oh, you
Go with the
just
flow,
go.
Right?
baby.
Either go or you get stopped. Right. It's
Yeah.
one or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that brings me to kind of I had another point I wanted to cover, but it just kind of went by me. Oh no. Oh. Okay, we'll talk about something else. It'll come to
Well,
me.
I can tell you, I was talking to the guys today about Montana again. So
Yeah.
everybody is like super pumped. Now we just gotta start working out the. I don't know. I thought about getting a bus. Imagine a bus. We just go down the bus.
Dude, I'm coming in so heavy to that match, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like 218.
damn.
218.
If if like part of me is like this might be a good opportunity for me to like make my official like jump into the 220s.
You
Yeah. Well,
think?
you're gonna be there anyway, eventually.
I'm gonna be there anyway eventually. And like, well,
Get the
it's not
frame.
like I ate really good going into even the Mac match, and I was like 204.
No.
So
Okay.
like, it's not like
Yeah, the cut's not
I
that.
could drop down easily. You know what I mean? I'm
Mhm.
actually probably not gonna get that heavy, but I would like to be 210.
I've
I
seen you.
feel like I feel like 210 is a good way for me, and then if good 198 tournament comes up, I can still get there.
In the
Right?
next few years, you're gonna find that you will put a little bit of weight on just because you're really young, right? So your
Oh yeah,
metabolism will shift a little. It will, every 6 months you'll lose a little bit of metabolism. You know what I mean? And
yeah, for sure.
yeah,
And I'm not gonna like fight my body and try and stay
no.
lower weight. And then the other thing is too is like I probably have like a two like if you look when you look at Matt and I beside each other, like Matt Wilds at the
Mhm.
pay-per-view, like we don't have the same frame.
No,
The fact that we were, 10 pounds apart in weight or whatever was
you
kind
look
of
bigger. Yeah,
yeah. And so
The
like
guy's
I
arms are freaking.
yeah,
oh, he's got big
I know.
arms. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't have a 198 frame. Like just the
No,
way
dude, you have a huge
No,
frame, huge
like
your
hand,
frame's
huge
big.
I
lever.
probably have like a two like a big 220s like
Two
a
thirty
or a
two, even probably. You're almost the same
232
size as
frame.
Sanders, eh? You and Sanders were pretty close.
I don't think I met Sanders.
Oh,
No, I haven't met
Yeah,
Sanders.
oh,
Sanders is a 10. I think he's a 105 guy though, whatever that is.
that's
Yeah,
two
Dude,
thirty.
not that I have Levon's build by no means, but that picture when I'm standing beside him, like frame wise, like if you took all the meat away,
Mm-hmm.
we're pretty much same height.
Well, you
Oh
see
yeah,
his
oh
early
yeah.
pictures when his early
Yeah.
days of wrestling. That's
Or
how
like
he ended up
what is a Rackley pull?
95. No.
95 or 100, right? He dabbles in 100
Well,
as well.
he
Dabbles.
bounces, yeah. But
Yeah.
he was 95. His last match was 95.
Okay.
Rackley is what right now? 105.
No, he pulled 95 last
Pulled
one.
down. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
fair
He's a
enough.
He
95
pulled
champ, isn't
Sasho.
he?
Didn't he pull Sasho last?
Yeah. He's a
Yeah,
95
95.
champ, but he's pulling Prudnick, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, so he dabbles from 105 to 95. He floats
yeah,
anywhere around there.
kind of
Yeah,
bounces around.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Dude, you got me thinking about the Montana armbender quick. I'll jump into that
Be
quick though. Like
crazy.
that's height.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got it. That's a must win for me now.
Yeah, I agree.
And like I'm basically like I don't know if this guy's stronger than Matt. Like Matt Wiles was strong,
He's
man.
different. This guy's different. He pulls different.
Imagine the guy's stronger, right? Train for
Yeah,
it.
well,
Yeah.
he's different, Brian, but he's still hooked.
Yeah, I know, but I don't see him flying in with that press. I don't know.
Well, it's on a traditional table, so I'm not as worried about the press.
Yeah, true.
If I had been on the Mac table previously and understood the power of the press on that, I would
Mhm.
have worried about it more.
Yeah,
But I just didn't. But like on a traditional table, and I kind of know what I'm getting into. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna keep developing everything, but I'm really gonna work on my hook for this guy.
I'm gonna come out. I want to come out a couple special days actually, and like even with you guys, I want to like work together. 'Cause I think
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should.
We
Oh,
We
need
yeah.
should do
to,
actual training days.
yeah,
Like
because
that's why these Europeans are like, because they actually train.
Mhm.
Like we train at the gym and whatever and do our gym lifts, but like they train together and they push each other, and it's a lot. Like when you have a team going, because
We might be able to help each other that way.
I need supination.
Mhm.
I need to
Come
stay in
train.
tight. I don't know if you guys saw, but I made a YouTube video today. I just posted it recently, and I was talking about elbow integrity, but like if I need to get my frame up to the point where I can throw some weight behind it and know it's gonna, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Me and you can do that, man. I'm.
Oh, I know we can. Yeah,
I'm
I'll
not.
drive out though. I'll drive out because
That's
I
yeah,
yeah.
think because I need help too. And guess what? You guys get the best of it because I'll let you just hit me
perfect.
Yeah,
because
that'll
Yeah,
help us too. We can get.
I need a certain kind of train. I need a certain kind of training, right? So, and you guys, you can just tell me how to pull, and I'll just pull that way.
Yeah.
yeah, for
You
sure.
know,
We do a
and I'm
band
not,
and stuff to give
yeah,
you
and
a
I'm
run.
strong. I'm strong, so I can, you know what I mean. You know that those areas you want to get stronger, I'll give you the strength for it.
Yeah, for sure. Matthias, come to Alberta anytime, man.
Oh
For
yeah.
those who don't know, I keep saying Matthias. He's the guy who did the Prem stream
Hmm.
for the pay-per-view. Guy's
Yeah.
awesome. He's so
Yeah.
cool.
Ian was telling me that today.
Yeah, the
He's
60 came out.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Any of them guys, like, come on out. Let's have a Mac event out here. Honestly, we would have like
Oh,
We'd have
set
so
up
many
talent.
so.
people. I want to be on it. Everyone probably that hears about it's gonna.
Oh my god, we could
Bring
like
Ontario.
if we had one in Red Deer, we could even drag out Caleb.
Oh
Dude,
yeah, buddy.
dude, I'm telling you, Caleb would show up. I bet.
Hmm. Oh yeah,
I'll
Dude,
show up too. Come on.
I will.
Look
I'm
at the
all
right
up.
arm, man. Look at that. It's too big. My left's getting
It
so
is.
tiny.
It is
dude.
bigger, man.
Also, while we're
Oleg.
on the topic, Josh Bell and Rick Heidenbrick was a banger.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get. We overlook Sean's matches because
Hmm.
Sean's matches were one sided either way.
Hmm. I
Sean's
watched them both.
matches were awesome too. I don't
Yeah.
want to
Oh yeah.
overlook that. It
No,
was super
no.
fun to be in his corner, and he pulled really well.
Oh yeah.
But Josh, like seeing Josh dig into a hook and like battle it out
Hmm.
after seeing him smoke people for so long was so fun.
And to know he's strong there. I thought he would have just crumbled. He did pretty good for a bit in the hook there.
No, dude, for a
Mhm.
long time.
Yeah, I know.
And I like Josh, if you watch this, I tell you this in person too. I'm not knocking you, but I thought that Josh's endurance would not have been that good.
Hmm.
Just because like he doesn't really come and pull with Matt much, which I don't blame him. He's a long ways away. But like other
He
than
doesn't
like
have
Joe
anybody
Fox,
give him anything. I know.
yeah, that's what I mean.
I know.
Yeah.
And
It's hard for him
so
to train to increase his level when
Hmm.
he can
yeah,
only farm so much XP from the low levels, you know?
Well, you know
exactly.
what though? You know what though? The Josh doesn't work out. He doesn't do hardly shit, and he's that good. And it's our fault too, like us big guys. We got to get stronger and give him some competition because you know
Just
what?
show him a few different exercises,
Now
you know?
he's got a fire lit under his ass. He's
I was
gonna
gonna say,
he's
dude,
gonna
that
be
match lit a fire
oh
under him for
yeah,
sure.
but okay, so you give Josh 6 months to a year in the gym now, and and him taking everything so serious. I'm telling you,
I don't want to.
he's gonna be the man in Canada, and like in the next few years, you'll watch. He's good. The level is just gonna because he's taking it serious now, and he's gonna actually train. And it sounds like he's fired up now. Like this just like lit something under him.
Yeah, no, if he's fired up, I could see him being the
Hmm.
third best in Canada easily. But
Hmm.
Matt and Devin like are
Oh
their
yeah, of
own
course.
enigmas, and that's just the way it's going to
But I
be.
don't even include them anymore. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's completely
It's hard
fair.
to.
Hmm.
It's hard to include them because they're like
Hmm.
mythical creatures, man.
Hmm. I'm talking about what number one outside of them. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I could see it. I could see it. Um, I think Josh and Pork Chop is fun,
That match needs to happen.
just because Josh has a lot of tools that he couldn't utilize against Rick that he could against Pork Chop.
100%.
Like,
Well, let's organize this Mac event.
Hey,
Who else can we bring down? You know what? I got somebody for Tiny on the left.
yo, Matthias, we're giving you Mac matches right now.
Yeah,
Just write them down, buddy. They're all
I
gonna be
would.
bangers.
I would. So Jason Constantini
yep.
versus Greg Deneen.
That'd be fun.
left-handed.
That'd be
That'd
cool.
be fun. Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's a match.
Yeah, that's a fun one. Yeah.
That's a match, and that's one I don't know. I just don't know. I think Greg.
Greg
I'm
Dineen's
I'm
good,
actually
man.
rooting for Greg. I think he's inhuman on the left.
He is pretty good. Really.
Greg, when he's on and his left is good, is really fun. Oh, he's actually in the chat. Hey, Greg.
Hey, buddy.
Oh,
He knows I got his back, man. But yeah, I think that's the match. I think we bring down Tiny and Greg Dineen. It's Tiny's arm's the
that'd be
left arm
awesome.
too. He crushes everybody down there on the left.
Dude, there's this guy there, his name was Jeff Radford, and he had a gnarly top roll. Talk to the guy, he's a really good guy. He like has his own business or something doing like axe throwing. You guys should check that out. But I'd like to see him pull Hugh.
You.
I think if Hugh got him inside, I think it's like Matt Wilds and I. I think it's lane depending.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Because his top roll
That's fair.
felt really good from what I pulled.
He was a
And
top
he
roll killer sometimes with his
and he
style.
yeah, he was. And he dominated both his matches, I'm pretty sure Jeff Radford did. So
How heavy is Eugene?
he could be 176, man.
John
176.
Therian. We want to bring
John
John
Terry and Eugene. That'd be a
Yeah.
good match right there. That's a
the next
match.
match. Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think John Terrian beats Mason?
I don't know, but Eugene, he wants the match.
That's a weird question. I don't know.
Eugene wants John Terrian?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man.
Who's like a level up from John Terrian?
In the States,
We can do North America.
I think Ali beats John Terrian.
Greg Toulier.
You think Ali beats John Terrian, but you don't think Mason beats John Terrian?
Wait.
I
Oh,
think
Mason
Ali.
won that.
No, you're talking left hand, right? You got to think about which hand you're talking about here.
Also, I forgot Mason went up in weight. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, well, I think Ali and Mason are right up there. I think they both beat John Terrian then. I think the reason why being they're fast guys, really fast, and they're elite level. So
I think you can do John Terrian against Mason, Eugene, or Ali, and it's a fun match.
any of the three, literally, that's 100% fair.
Yeah.
They'd all be good matches.
Yeah.
The best one,
I think Hunter Bradford versus Eugene. We should set that up.
That'd be
Because
crazy.
I know Eugene will put his money where his mouth is too.
Yeah.
And if we got that on a Mac event,
yeah, that's crazy. He's looking really good, man.
because that's the guy who wanted to pull the Montana armbender, right? But Eugene can't come down to.
He can't get the visa to go to Montana.
So if we did that in Canada over here, like, dude, that's a clash of the Titans North America match.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both willing to put money on it too.
That'd be awesome. I would.
Money always makes things exciting.
That would be like a big draw too, man. For a lot of like Western poolers want to see that.
Dude, 100%.
I think there's tons of matches.
Oh, there's so many.
There's
And you know what? After the Montana Armbenders event, we're gonna have a better understanding too.
Yeah. Hey man, I'm just saying, if I smash at the Montana Armbender,
yeah,
I'm happy.
Dude,
right.
Me too, man. I want to win my match so bad. I'm completely changing how I train. I'm taking a bit of a different approach, more of a holistic approach.
Yep.
Okay. Watched Todd Hutchings' video today, just talking about.
Me too.
The peptides.
The one where you shot button?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to start doing that, but
yeah.
I really like his. If you train this, you have to train this.
You train that.
If you train this, you have to train this.
Being
and so, I go to the gym every day, anyways. So, dude, this might be the Sam Sulik influence on me. But I saw this statistics video that shows that Sam Sulik trains to failure 97.8% of all his sets.
I do it for like
crazy.
for 40%, I'd say. So I do it a lot, but that's almost every single set.
That's almost every single set. And so what I think I want to try doing for a little bit is like I'll do it for June and July, and I'll probably tone it down mid-July. But I want to do like a split where I just work out at the gym as if I wasn't an arm wrestler and do all my gym lifts at the gym.
Get your body more.
And just get stronger as a whole.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go till failure with everything I do. Like I'm gonna be sore, I'm gonna be beat up, but I
You're gonna
want
do
to
that?
see.
There's just a one key, like that works really good. There's just a one key thing. If you're gonna be going to failure all the time, you got to eat
Sleep.
more and sleep more.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Or it's for nothing then. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. No,
exactly.
for
Works for
sure.
nothing. You'll be tired and lazy and
Yeah.
be like, oh, because you're
No,
not getting enough food and
I'll
rest.
do it, but I want to give it. I want to give it a try for sure. And then I'm gonna be doing lot of inside work.
Yeah.
Good.
I think
Because
all of us are gonna be training differently.
yeah, well, just because, and I've had a few people say it to me now, but like I am a hand dominant arm wrestler for sure, and
Yeah.
like I think that my arm, like pulling stuff towards me, my hammer, all that stuff is strong, but that whole supination inside is something that I don't really explore enough. That I need to have balance because as that gets better, my topper will get better as well.
If I had to say like a ratio, I'd say you're over 2 times stronger in your back pressure lane than your
Yeah.
like side pressure
It's
lane.
side pressure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Lane, like you have everything engaged, just like you can get a lot more pressure through your drag than you can your side right now. And I'm the exact same way opposite, but maybe even worse. I can't really get much of my engagements through the drag, so I got to work on that.
yeah,
But it's easy to
fair
know
enough.
where you need to work because you can just say, okay, where am I not able to pull
You
at
know
this?
what's pretty crazy right now is that I've been doing this. You guys know I've been training with Sandris and everything.
Yeah, of course, of course.
I feel stronger in some areas and stuff, but my real strengths I've gotten a little weaker at. And it's I'm actually now I'm taking a break for the summer and doing my own thing for my super match.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm back to what I was doing. You remember with my progressive overload and my
Yep,
bench pressing and JMs.
you're back up.
I'm going hard at it because
Nice.
the lanes that I need to like this is going to be my super match with Chris times two. Like, you know what I mean? It's going to
Yeah,
be 30% harder. So I need that top end. I need that top end brute force for this match
100%,
Fair
man.
enough.
100%.
because he's going to be hitting, right? And he's in that's what he really relies on that hit. So I need if I stop that and I'm just stronger, I'll beat him.
Sometimes that's
Yeah,
all you need. Just be a little stronger, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm
being
just
weaker and
watching him.
taking their hands more fun. I'm telling you.
Oh no, listen, I like it. I'm a double hitter. I always hit, take the hand, and then I go for the pin. But
Yeah.
this one
And I
Oh,
here,
mean,
yeah.
okay. Wait, I'm cutting everyone off before I forget this.
Oh,
We're going back to Mac for a second.
okay.
So back to the mind thing where I was like nervous and didn't think. I really, in round one, especially, well, maybe round four more, I guess. But when I took his wrist, I should have bled him.
mm-hmm,
Get his arm. Really start
mm-hmm,
pulling out. Just wait.
yeah.
Tighter,
He
tighter.
he would have pumped like crazy. I'm convinced.
Mm-hmm.
Big
That's
Um,
just their
muscles. Big muscles
experience
pump
level.
faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because if I would have had his wrist, especially that first round, and when I was like, that's a pin, and they didn't
Mm-hmm.
call it, and I stood back up, I should have sat there.
Yeah.
Should have got around a little bit and just sat on it because, especially round one, no one wants to lose round one.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you're like
That's
battling
when
to get
they'll,
out of
yeah,
it and
they'll,
get back.
yeah.
And that's when you blow your wrist up, and then all of a sudden round three comes around, and you're like, ooh, like that's one thing I did really well against Neil Looker, I would argue.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the most underrated thing I did that people don't really notice is like,
Well, everybody knows that one, buddy.
well, no, I'm not talking about the match in general,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm talking about one of my key points to winning there was that I
Oh,
blew
okay.
his hand up
Mm-hmm.
so bad by round three that like he was literally going like this and loosening the strap and going like this. And that's one thing that I do like about not set grip is I can really work it. I can
Mm-hmm.
really work people's hands. I know Evan was saying this too, talking about on one of his podcasts about how like you do take out a portion of the arm wrestling and like
You do.
I get it. It's a non-entertaining portion to like someone just
It's
watching.
very technical portion, though.
Yeah, so I understand why it's gone, and I'm not saying I am unhappy that it's gone, but it was also something that I did not take into consideration. Is like all the bleeding out, all of the pumping of the hand needs to be done
Match.
during a match,
Yeah.
which is
Mm,
okay because if you
yeah.
get good at it, and then at least it's still
Well,
entertaining for people to watch when I'm sitting on the arm or
yeah.
whatever.
Well,
But
See, that's what I was saying to Ian today, like when we were talking, right? Because we were talking about how it could be the standard one day, right? But the only problem I was saying, and I wasn't saying that as a negative, but we're still going to be competing on normal tables a lot, right? And
Mhm.
we train that. We train to, get advantage, get the webbing up. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, create a gap in your hand. You train all this stuff for the setup and the go. And a lot of it is eliminated with
So what you're kind
normal.
of relating it to, Brian, is like
Hmm.
it when you work at a new job and it's like 2005 and you train that job for 10 years and you learn every little single thing, and then all of a sudden in 2015 they bring in this computer,
Well, it
and
could
now
be,
and
maybe not to
now
that scale because this
not to
one,
that scale, but then
it's
the
just,
computer does a lot
yeah,
of the stuff for you. So you're like, okay. So you're like saying
yeah.
they're kind of taking a
But I
portion out
mean,
of it.
there is hey, I see a lot of guys though. If it wasn't for the way they manipulate the setup, and it wasn't for like their skill, they would actually lose a lot of the matches. Like, you know what I mean? I know a lot of guys that are crafty. You know what I mean? Like, all I'm saying is it's fine if but you know what I mean? It's just that thing, like I said last night, guys are still going to want to go to worlds, this and that, so they'll be competing on a normal table.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? If you will just always compete on the Mac table and that rule set, then yeah, you just, you know what? You would, things would change, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, I do see it could be, you know what I mean, an
Yeah.
issue. If you pulled on the Mac table for 6 months and then all of a sudden you go back to a regular table, you have to. Believe me, you might be fouling out. Who knows, right? You're not used to
Flying
that
off the
small bounce,
pad on the
flying
go.
off. Yeah, and I'm not knocking it. I'm just bringing up like there is some things
Yeah.
for right now that are kind of like could be issues. That's all I'm saying.
The
Right.
way
Well,
I
and who
see
knows too? Like
it, yeah.
if they're ever come. Oh,
Quick there. Freaking the way I
sorry,
see
Zach.
it
What did you say?
is
Oh,
it's kind of a new thing, but if you're really interested in it, you can afford to take the time and learn it. 100%.
Yeah.
There's
No, and
tons
I
of
agree with
things
that
like
too. I agree with that
it's
too.
not that big of an issue if you're passionate about it. It'll only
Yeah.
take you a while, and you'll be able to do both back and forth, no problem.
See, I like it. I think it should be used for like I would like to see it
The
start being
event.
used at all super matches because I think it's good, right? But then
yeah.
again, then you go back to like a guy like Devin. If Devin had that rule set all the time, that would take away from Devin's game plan, right? Like if you just had set your thumbs, set your fingers, go all the time with Devin, I don't know. Like maybe, you know what I mean?
But you gotta consider WAL too, though. Like he did just fine there.
Yeah, no, I know. I know, but they were pretty lenient in some ways with the rule set
Yes,
too.
they
Yeah,
were, and that's why I really wanted. Like, if I could go
yeah.
back, I wish I would have had Bart Wood as my referee
Yeah, yeah.
because I could time his go,
Yeah.
and I'm convinced I would have got like that last early start would have just been
Yeah.
called a win,
I
and I could
think
have.
I think Dave Knox, he likes to switch it up. He doesn't want you to be able to predict it. But I ref too, and I don't mind just doing the same ready go every time. If you're good enough to just know the timing and set, you know what I mean? Good for you, right? I don't need to start screwing with the guys on the table. Okay, this time I'm going to go ready, go, or this time I'm ready, go, or I don't change it a lot,
Yeah,
right? I don't see the benefit or just humor, I guess, on, you know what I mean? I get a kick out
Yeah,
of it, but I don't know why some refs do it. It's like, I don't know, pet peeve.
it's fair.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, guys, it's 10:30.
Yeah,
I
it
gotta
would have
work.
been
I gotta work at 6.
yeah, no worries.
I hate to be that guy.
We wanted to hear about your match, man.
No, it
So
was good, and like I'm probably gonna make a video still going over it because I want to like actually jump on a table and just like explain some things
Oh, for
from
sure.
like a
Visualize it.
imagery perspective. But and yeah, Matthias made one last good point. He's like MMA. There's a lot of different organizations with different rules, and
yeah,
I agree. Like there's
yeah, I
even in
agree.
arm wrestling, there's room for different organizations, different rules. And the
Yeah,
big thing we all have to understand is at the end of the day, it's wherever the money's at. It was like when WAL came in with a bunch of money, all of a sudden everyone was there.
yeah,
And hopefully there will come a time when like there's more like when it's like an MMA perspective where it's like, oh, you can fight at bare knuckle, or oh, you can fight at
yeah,
UFC, or you can fight at Bellator, and then
yeah,
you kind of decide what's best for you,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then
And they all got their own little thing. Yeah,
you still get your money, but it has its own little thing. There's gonna be
yeah,
people that love the big elbow pads, and there's gonna be
yeah.
people that hate them.
Oh
But
yeah,
my advice to anyone is don't just be a hater. Give
No,
it give
no.
it a shot. Take into consideration the pros and the cons. Sure, it can be not for you, but like you don't have to go be a dick about it and be like, hey, this league sucks. They're changing all the rules.
Yeah.
Like you just sound like an old
Teach
head
their
when
own, man. Yeah, teach their own,
you
right?
sound like an old head when you're doing that. Like stick
Yeah.
to your 7x7 pad on a, you know what I mean? Like you do you, but don't get mad at me for having fun because I went down the red slide and you went down the blue slide. And you've been on the blue slide for 35 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Change
I
change
wanted
is
to try the
good.
red slide once.
Options are good.
Okay. The
Yeah.
red slide was fun. Come try it. I ain't ever going on
Squirrels.
that slide as long as I live. All right, buddy. You go down that war out blue slide. But
Yeah.
don't get mad at me for going down the red slide.
No,
But
no. I think it's good to talk about all the angles, right? There's no one. I think the table's awesome. I do, and
I think if you got really good at understanding the Mac table and the angles behind it, and you were still able to pull on a 7x7 and not detriment anything with maybe
Mhm.
traveling too far or, a few things like that, I think that you would become a better arm wrestler.
Yeah, it actually makes it more cool. Like more moves can happen. We might see some kind of new
New
can
type
opener,
of
not
thing.
can
Yeah.
opener, but we might see some made up friggin' moves. We might be having 20 different moves in the next 2 years.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Dragonfly.
yeah,
Who knows what it
yeah,
is?
yeah, yeah. So
But
fun.
yeah, anyways, guys, I'm heading out. Thanks for
Yeah.
chatting. Everyone
Oh,
who's
no worries.
watching. Dude, we had like 18 people watching the
I
whole
know.
time.
I know.
Yeah.
It was
What the
great.
heck? You guys need to get a life. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
Thanks,
Everyone who watched,
everybody.
thanks for tuning in, guys. We appreciate it. I think we're gonna be probably like next Tuesday, so like at
yeah.
least a couple day break because you guys have been going like crazy the last few days. So
Oh, yeah. And we're gonna have a giveaway on
Giveaway. Yep.
Tuesday. So yeah,
can I
yeah.
answer? No, I'm just kidding.
No, no, we're gonna all pick a question for the next few weeks. I have a question that I was gonna propose, but I'll type it in our group chat. So
All right, we'll figure it out.
yeah,
But anyways, have a good night, fellas. Take care. Hey.
Have a good night, everybody.
yeah, we're all gone. Have a good night, guys.